This video will show you how to put together our Petite pencil box, which is an SVG file from Simply Crafty SVG. This is a small little gift box you can give for teacher appreciation. So here are the pieces to this what I call the Petite pencil treat box. So this is going to be the this is the eraser, this is the point, and the lead, and the body of it. So it's a really small, squatty box, but I felt like it was a good size for a small gift or gift card. So if you can see here, here's a finished one. I embossed this side, and I'll show you what I embossed it with. So a lot of us have these over time. You can use a big one too, but I just lined them up so the embossing was across, gave it 2 lines. So then it opens up, and then you can put a gift card in here. Will fit quite nice. And then the lid is kind of a squatty lid, a little bit bigger, but it does hold together. A little pencil, writing pencil. So I just like little squatty boxes. So, but I call it the Petite pencil. So it's super simple, but I wanted it to be super simple so you could put it together quickly. And if you need to make more than one. So there's that one. So I did different embossing in both of them. So the one I'm putting together, I use this one, which is Scallop Set. I don't even know if these are available anymore, but just to give you an idea what can be done. And this one I had to kind of, because of I hang it out the edge when I run it through the machine, and I kind of had to flip it over and do the other side. So it's not exactly the same, but it's just giving it a little bit of texture, which I like. Or you could use metal, I mean, even though I have it in gray. So we're going to go ahead and do this piece first. So make sure you go ahead and fold it all. Let me put that over there. Now I am using, I think this is oatmeal. Oops, wrong one. It's just this piece right here. We'll do this later when it attaches to the box. So the side tab. It's a little sidetracked because I have my dogs are barking outside. So we're going to go ahead and line this up. So we're lining this edge up to the tab fold. Kind of using my thumb to guide it to make sure I don't go beyond it. So I'm just applying pressure with my inside finger all the way down. You want to get as close as possible, because if you don't, this may not fit properly. So this one just folds all the way around. So it folds like that. So what I would do with this one, there's no tab. I just add a little glue on the bottom, especially around those bottom rounded edges. So we'll hold it from the middle. Then I'm going to add a little glue here. We'll go a little bit on this edge. So we're going to go ahead and line it up. Oops. It's a little bit bigger than it needs to be, so it would go around correctly. We're just going to line it up on that one edge. Again, this is one of those things, I just wanted something super simple. I have a different 3D pencil that's larger and a little bit more complex that I designed a few years back before this. I just wanted some real simple teacher boxes, because I know a lot of people want those. Because it's very important that we recognize our teachers. So that can sit that like that. And now we're going to go onto the other side. We'll go to the eraser lid. I'm going to take these pieces. So I wanted it a little bit more complex, but I wanted it simple at the same time, if that makes sense. I like to do things just a little bit different, because there's been a lot of pencils made out there. So this is going to be our lid, and we're going to put this piece around the edge here once we put this together. So once we have them folded, I would wait to do this one last. So let's go ahead and take the 3 other ones. We're going to go ahead and start gluing them. So you want to anchor one piece first. So I would start at this edge because it's just easier to line it up. And we're going to go ahead and take this piece, make sure it's lined up at the top, and then it's lined up on the edge here. So if it's lined up on the top, and then we want this edge not to go beyond this tab fold, just make sure it's going to anchor the piece. I'm just getting the excess glue off, or you could use a little wet, a damp paper towel to do that too as well. So now I'm just going to fold that down a little bit so I can get to that tab. So I'm holding the tab that I glued. And I'm just going to go turn it around, get it in your hand so it's comfortable, and glue those other 2 tabs. So I meant to push that in. So you want to go in order, so we're going to start from the top. Come down here, I'm just making sure that the edge is lined up to the tab fold. And then just, you want to make sure that's good and secure before you do this part here. Just fold it down. And again, I have this little damp towel that I'm just using to get the glue off my fingertips. And then we'll just continue going around. So this will be the top of it. So if you're used to doing this, of course you can fast forward. But if you're new, I'm going to do all 3 tabs at once. I'm going to put glue. But if you're new, you're probably going to want to stick to putting glue on the first tab, anchoring it, and then moving on. With time, it gets way easier. If you're not new, you probably understand what I mean by that. And dried glue up over time. Dried glue is going to get little pieces. I think I mentioned I'm using Barely Art glue today. I do really like art glitter glue. I just have a stash of both, so a couple videos just letting people know that those 2 glues I like. If people wonder why I'm not using another popular one like Scotch, I'm such a slow crafter. It depends on your crafting and what works for you. So remember, you want to go ahead and try different glues to see what's best for you. For me, Scotch Quick Dry, I really liked it, but it was quick dry. Way quicker than I wanted it to be. So just keep that in mind. So we're just going to take this last one, making sure everything's folded in. Put it on. So if you like this project, or any of our videos, really, I always ask if you could give us a thumbs up and like on our video, and or subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. And if you hit that little bell to the right, you'll be notified when I have new projects videos, any videos. It could be a video tutorial, which I haven't done much in 2022. Be careful of this when you're doing this. Or it could be a new project like this, a new product, and I have a lot of ideas. And a lot of requests. I just don't have. It's just one of me, so it takes time, unfortunately. So that one, you just have to make sure this is out of your way, but you don't want to pull it up too much because you don't want to pull it away from this tab. So I didn't get that tab as close as I wanted. So I'm just kind of holding it again. A lot of it's just because I'm talking at the same time. So here you can kind of pull it apart gently. I mean, make sure you're not pulling it apart at any of the seams, but you can pull those tabs out if you wanted to. Add glue to them, and then just kind of gently pull this piece over, and I'll show you. So this is, in my opinion, the hardest part. So I'm just going to lift that up around there. Then I'll just start. So this last one, I kind of want to get that top, not secure, I just want to get it lined up first. And then line up the second one. Line up the third one, and then I'll apply pressure once I have them all in place. I'll get them set. So I'm just going over it. Then we can fold over that top piece. So I'm going to go ahead and add glue to these, and it's a flat top. Just make sure I don't get that on the parts I don't want it. Just making sure I have a good enough coverage around the edges here on the end. I'm just going to line it up. It is flat, so it should be fairly easy. If it's off just a little bit, don't worry about it. It's just because your tabs are off just a little bit. I mean, this is really engineered for precision, and if for some reason it's off just a little bit because of the human error, it's going to be off. So that's just the way it is. So this one, I don't have, I mean, you could always make a square there, the size of that, but if you want to hide that. But to me, it's a quick little gift item, so. So we're going to go ahead and put this piece on. So this piece can be a little tricky only because depending on the width of the thickness of the paper that you're using, if it's thickness, it's going to be harder for it to go all the way around. You see how that kind of goes like that? Now the way that I would do it is start on one edge. That's why I don't like to do pieces like this that often, because there's a variable. So if you didn't glue too close enough to the edge, there's going to be a gap. And you're always not going to glue too. I still have allowances, but you're never going to glue exactly like a machine would, or you know what a computer tells you. So we have to make allowances for that kind of thing. So you want to kind of line that up there. I'd line it up to where the edge of this is, not where you glued it there. So if you have a little gap, you can ink it anyways. I'll show you what that means. If you don't have at least like a black or brown-ish ink that you can use to do that, it's something you want to put in your arsenal. And I'm lining this up to the bottom of this. And I'm kind of pulling it at the same time, because I want it to go around best it can. You can see like that. So if it's, sometimes it'll go a little bit too far, and sometimes it won't go quite far enough, depending on the thickness of the cardstock and how you put it together. So just for purposes of making it easy, a lot of my designs, I just have little individual panels. This, you put one whole one on at once, but there's always that variable of how it's put together. So I think I made like 4 different versions of this to get it close to the size it needs to be for the majority for the work. So you can see I have just that little gap there. And what I mean by inking is that I have everybody just have a little stamp ink or something like that in their arsenal. Let me put this down. So if you have a gap, that's my gray one. I don't want that one. I want black soot, or it could be any black ink, by the way. I'm going to use one of these. It's a little iCrafter. It's just a little brush. It has a little ink on it already. I'm just dabbing it against paper so it doesn't get too heavy everywhere. gotta find one right here. I'm just gonna go like that to darken it a little bit. And then I would just go around the edges anyways and just do it to be consistent. And the fun thing about embossing is that if you want to, you could add a little metallic if you want, and then this way you can see a little white where I emboss it. I'm just kind of cleaning that up and making it look consistent on the edges. So it's just a fun little thing. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it makes a difference. So there it is. So these are iCrafter. These are just little they're little bristles, so it's like little brushes, like a makeup brush. But it's just easy for me to maneuver. But it takes some practicing. So if somebody says, I don't like it, and I went and got it, there's other smaller tools you can use. I mean, another smaller tool I use, but it's just too small, is something like Fantastics. But it's just for this purpose. You could have gone like this. So if that's something, that's another tool I use. Or some people use, like it's a little like makeup foam corner things. I just never was able to use it very well. So I think everybody is an individual when it comes to that kind of thing. So that's the lid. And then here, the simpler part of it, until we attach this, I'm just going to fold that right there. Just fold it over with the tab showing up like that. Always add the glue. Fold that tab so you know where to go up to. And once you have the glue on the tab, just going to fold it over. Like that. And the only thing we have to do is to attach this. So this is going to attach in like this. So the way we want to do that, we're going to take one. So this actually should help you if you kind of fold it backwards. Just one of them. So we're just going to go ahead and add glue to this tab. And then either side, just going to slide that in and line this edge up with the inside tab fold and make sure it's centered here. I think, in my opinion, this is one of the hardest parts of it, but it's really easy once you get it. So these are all pre-folded. So just make sure this is good and secure before you move on. And then you're just going to insert these tabs. So we're going to add glue to them. So I'm going to push them in. And we're going to go like this. And then reach in and glue them, get them all attached. So I'm going to add glue to all three tabs. And we want that pointy part. Let's get that. Make sure I don't get any glue in my fingers here. And that's why I have the tab pushed in, so I can just rotate it down like that. And if you do get any glue on your fingertips, make sure you get it off on a little wet paper towel there. So get the one opposite first. And then just make sure they're lined up. So that's going to finish off the box. Just making sure they're all secure, not coming apart, so we can look inside. That's what it looks like. So this is a nice thing about using glue too, is that it secures it better than a different adhesive, the way it dries. So let me go ahead and close that, and I can show you the finished box. So there it is. It's a little pencil box. So we have 2 of them here, and I actually put a little metallic paper on that one. If you wanted to switch it up, the file is in gray, just to make it simpler and easier to cut out. But this could be ungrouped and silver if you want to have it silver. So that's it. You can go ahead, and this is the size of a gift card. So like I showed you before, it'll fit in like that with a couple little goodies. So that's fun for a teacher, or teacher appreciation or something like that. And it kind of it angles better for that one. I didn't want to make it extra large, but there are my little Petite pencils. I hope you like it. And again, if you haven't already done so, please give me a little thumbs up. And I thank you so much for watching.